Hello everyone, welcome. How are you getting on? Sean Ferrick here for Who Culture, and this week I am joining our esteemed main host, the wonderful Ellie Littlechild. Ellie, how are you getting on first of all?
I'm very well, thanks, and I'll pay you for that later.
Thank you very much. All I ask is that you do some sort of traveler's check. Okay, so we all know why we're here. This is the first time since we've been working together on Who Culture that a regeneration is happening in this time. So, I mean, this is it. This is kind of the big, whatever of any current or, well, outgoing Doctor's reign. So, first of all, do you have your TARDIS mug?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. Cool. Because I would have ended the video right there otherwise. Second of all, what's your feeling? Right, going into Saturday. I'm a child of Russell T Davies. Going into Sunday's episode, what are you feeling?
I am excited. I'm very excited. And the more I think about it, the more excited I get. I feel like we actually don't know very much. So I feel like, I know we've got a lot of people coming and a lot of explosions, but I also feel like there's so many questions.
I think the trailers have been really clever for this episode because they haven't given much away in terms of the plot. We know, obviously, Regeneration is coming up. We know the Master is back. We know the Cyber Masters are back. We know, obviously, Ace and Tegan, so we'll get into that now in a second. But I don't really know what anyone's doing in this episode. So let's get into what we do know. We do know that classic companions Ace and Tegan are going to be in it. They were revealed in the trailer at the end of The Legend of the Sea Devils. In our classic companions ranking, I put Ace right up toward the top with Sarah Jane Smith. She is brilliant. Tegan, I think she was good. She was hurt by her exit, which I think came in it was a very turbulent time for Doctor Who at the time. We actually have a list coming out on that period of Doctor Who's history soon. Keep an eye out for that. But she quit the TARDIS. Basically said, I can't do this anymore. I'm out of here. Bye. Although it was more emotional than that, that's basically not a bad paraphrase of the scene. So I'm interested to see how Janet Fielding comes back to the series.
Yeah, it does kind of make you question if that's how it was left, then how do you explain her, sporting a gun and being very much a badass in this trailer and I assume in the upcoming episode?
That's true. Well, actually, she, in an interview, she made a very interesting point where she said the Doctor's companions who are on Earth, they have got together in advance of this story and, they have connected. So, of course, we know Ace will be in the episode, but throwing the door open to wild speculation, what else could that mean?
It means there's a whole load of other companions that could be returning. Now, we have had confirmation that Bradley Walsh is returning, so is he part of that gang? I feel like I can imagine Graham and Ace and Tegan just sitting down with a cup of coffee and just exchanging stories. I feel like that's something that could happen.
Question on that then, because I haven't seen any confirmation of this yet, but will we see Ryan again? Because Graham and Ryan are family, whereas
I feel
Yaz
like you
and
can't
Graham
have one without
aren't.
the other.
Yeah.
But again, we have had no confirmation of Ryan, so it's highly likely.
There is an image doing the rounds on social media, which, if, magic is happening, has suddenly appeared beside one of our heads right now. And it shows Yaz and the Doctor standing at the front of the TARDIS, but it seriously looks like someone has been edited out of the picture. I mean, obviously we're doing wild speculation at this point, but I've seen the name Martha Jones being thrown around.
Which would make sense.
Yeah, she's still on Earth. She worked with Torchwood.
Definitely a high contender.
There's one person who I actually am fairly convinced it won't be, and this is for the classic Who fans out there. I don't think it's going to be Mel, because Bonnie Langford has been confirmed that she is coming back to Doctor Who, but I think she's coming back in the future. She'll be in one of Russell's episodes. So her name is doing the rounds at the moment, and I suspect it won't be her this time around.
I also think there's something to be said if you overdo it. I feel like if you bring back classic companions, previous incarnations, you have to find that fine balance between having enough of them to make it feel really special, but not overdoing it and making the entire story about that rather than being a new story in itself.
You're right. You have to find it's hard. You have to find that balance between fan service and the story. Having said that, I'm just going to read a quote from Chris Chibnall now. He said to the Metro, "There are surprises still to come, big surprises. There are so many Easter eggs in there for people who have been watching the show over the years. There are things for really hardcore fans and even the more casual viewers. There are lots to get your teeth into." That definitely suggests to me that we're going to have stuff for people who've been watching all their lives, people who have maybe only just started with the 13th Doctor, or people like yourself who came into being when Rose aired in 2005.
Yeah, and that's why maybe I feel like you've got the classic companions in Ace and Tegan, and perhaps then it is more likely that if we are seeing another companion return, it might be a companion from the reboot era. But then again, you've already got confirmation of obviously Donna coming back later next year. So again, you don't want to have too many. And also that has been done before. You know, if you think of Journey's End, that has been done before. So again, you need to find a way for that not to just be repeating old storylines again.
There's a couple of other names as well that have been bandied about. Now, there's the big one, which obviously you're going to talk about. I would never dream of encroaching on that territory. But just another couple of others. People have, because obviously in this era, we've already brought back people like Captain Jack, which was fantastic. Just nice to see the link in the series again. There is something where apparently Catherine Tate was recorded saying, "What about Mel?" So that's where the initial things about Mel Bush came in. It's like, oh, Bonnie Langford, we know she's coming back, maybe it's this. But actually, Ellie, do you want to take this one?
Yes, I will take this one, because my instant reaction when I heard this thing about Mel wasn't Bonnie Langford. Obviously, because it's me, I immediately went to Mel as in Melody Pond. I want her to come back. Now, I know that obviously it's kind of maybe more companions on Earth, but River can be anywhere. And she's actually one of the few companions where it actually does make sense. Is one of those characters with such a strange storyline that it can just be explained away quite simply. Having said that, I did go to London Comic Con this year, and Alex Kingston was asked about returning. I mean, we all know that they're quite good at lying, but she did say that she wasn't coming back for the 60th, or she said that she hadn't been asked back. She did say she'd love to come back. But again, we know from the 50th that David Tennant outright lied on TV to say that he wasn't coming back when he very much was. So yeah. I can still live in the land of hope.
It's been wonderful seeing River with her husbands. I'm going to see River with her wife.
It's a wasted episode, I think. Why has that not been done? Yeah. That's a storyline that I think a lot of people like to see, especially with the attitudes towards Yaz and the Doctor. So, I mean, I feel like if you'd have just brought River into that love triangle, that would have been a great episode just in itself.
I think so, because I don't think there would be, I realize we're going like into the speculation, but I don't think they would have done the whole possessive jealousness. I think it would have been just like, oh, Doctor, everything's fine. Like, it's cool. And who better to have a face from the past to be like, will you stop being so silly and will you just express your love? Come on now. Would be one of the many reasons I'd love to see River back. Also, just love River. Now, another companion who's on Earth, Jo Grant. Now, she already returned in the modern era. She appeared in Sarah Jane Adventures. So she has at least seen 11 as a Doctor. And again, it's sort of, kind of I realize I'm kind of like, oh, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great? There is one companion who I think, and this has been an error from 2005 up to now, that they haven't appeared, and that is Susan.
Susan is definitely someone that you'd think would be brought back way more than she has been.
There's an awful lot of talk of being the last of the Time Lords. I get it, she's on a planet, but anyway. So I just think, hard to tell. The last thing that we should probably address is that the press screening that was shown, the regeneration scene was not left in. Now, I can't imagine them doing that unless there was one hell of a twist.
This is what I don't get. We've kind of had the question of, will Jodie regenerate into Ncuti? Will she regenerate into David Tennant? But actually, one of the theories that I've been seeing that I quite like, and I kind of hope is the case, is she'll regenerate into Ncuti, and then there'll be some sort of kind of glitch, and then into David. or maybe other faces in between. I feel like it can't be as simple as going into either of those two faces.
I was thinking of, maybe would it be good if she doesn't regenerate? That's the twist. But then they've done that story already with 12 and Twice Upon a Time. The whole, he's regenerating, oh wait, he's not.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I don't know, some people have seen it, some people have chosen to avoid it, but obviously yesterday there was an image leaked on iTunes as well.
I have
to do
deliberately
with the episode.
chosen not
well,
to
I
see
have
it.
seen the image, and I don't know whether Danny will insert it or not, but
that is fine. I just won't watch the video. It's fine.
Just don't watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it after the episode airs. What do you all think? So as it stands, I'm not sure what day this is going to air on. It will be before the regeneration. So let us know in the comments what you think we're going to see on Sunday, who you think we're going to see. And I'd love to hear your thoughts as to why, because we're trying our hardest to be like, oh, wouldn't it be lovely to see fucking everyone who's ever gone near a TARDIS ever? But no, like, what would be the reason that somebody should return? How would it serve the story as we know it? How many seconds into the episode will Martha Jones appear? And how loud will the scream be from Ellie's house if River is to make a cameo?
Quite loud.
Ellie, if people want to reach out and get in touch with you online, where do they find you?
You can find Who Culture as a whole across Twitter and now on Instagram as well. And me personally, if you just search Ellie Littlechild, you'll find me. There aren't many Ellie Littlechilds in the world.
Yes, likewise, you'll find me on Twitter at Sean Ferrick. You'll find me on Instagram at Sean.Ferrick88. And yeah, likewise, give Who Culture a follow and make sure, I'm sure if you're watching this video, I'm sure you've already subscribed, right? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You're all awesome. We will probably see you sooner than you might think. But until then, keep things wibbly wobbly.